excited, you guys. I love Lynn so much. She is all about empowering women to build wealth. And as you guys know, that's one of the things that I am all about is making sure that women get to build wealth, that it's not just making a little bit here and there, but actually creating wealth that we're actually creating inside of our business and also for our lives so that we can live in what the way that we want to live so that we can share, so that we can give, so that we can make an impact in the world, we can make a difference in the lives of others. And Lynn is one of my colleagues. She's one of my besties. I'm so excited to have you, Lynn. So thank you for being here and sharing your genius inside of my Facebook group.
Thank you, Chris.
Mhm.
Thank you, Chris. I'm delighted to be here. I am also a big fan of yours and all that you do to help not just women, but everyone that it comes into your presence. You,
Hmm.
you know, we're all lifted up by means of you and what you're doing in the world. So I'm delighted to be invited by you here and so happy to be with all of your people.
Yay. So just real quick, if you guys are here with us, let us know. Come say hello because Lynn and I really love to connect with you. We want to say hello back. So let us know. Just type in live if you're watching this live. If you're watching the recording, that's great too, but just let us know. Hashtag recording or hashtag replay. And that way we can come back around, circle back around, give you a warm welcome, and answer any questions that you might have as we go. So Lynn, what are we going to talk about today? Wealth
We're
for
going to talk,
sure, but
yeah, we're going to talk
mhm.
about what it takes to really be a wealth builder, to
Mm.
a wealth builder. How does that
Oh,
sound?
amazing. Yes, I want to I've got my notebook right here just in case you guys might want to get a pen or a pencil because Lynn has been doing this for many, many years. Like she is not a newbie, she is an expert. You are getting an expert wealth builder here, so definitely grab a pen, pencil. I've got mine right here. Yeah, all in. I am all in with you.
Great. I'm delighted. I have a philosophy that says every woman is an ace money manager already, just
Mhm.
waiting to be empowered. And those of us who think, no, that's not me. I'm not good with money. I'm not good with math. Um, it's kind of like, to me, that makes me think, gosh, that's just faulty thinking.
Yeah.
Because in reality, we women actually have an innate ability to manage, and
Mhm.
that means
Mhm.
money, to manage affairs, to manage households, to manage departments of corporations. I mean, we have such an intuitive ability. I think it's all in the relationship building category.
Mhm.
But
Mhm.
really, when we think about building a relationship with our money, it is so rewarding and rich because why would we be in business in the first place
Yeah.
if it weren't to create a more enriched environment for our
Mhm.
lives, and then have that translate into the kind of, I'm going to use the word wealth because I
Mhm.
believe that it is something we can build with a little knowledge and certainly with the right mindset. How does that sound, Chris?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. I love that you actually just mentioned how innate it is for us to actually manage. We manage families, we manage kids, we manage ourselves, we manage, all of these things. And
Yeah.
yet for some reason, when it comes to money or numbers or math, we just kind of freeze up a little bit.
Let me ask your audience, how many of you, put a one in the chat, how many of you have raised children? Put a
Mm.
one in the chat or raise your hand. How many you have, Chris? How many children do you have, Chris? 5.
I've got 5.
Okay.
3
Now,
of my own, 3 that I biologically
yes,
birthed.
combined families and so forth,
Mhm.
this is the kind of thing that we don't realize as women. If you have raised even one child,
Mhm.
you have the capacity that it takes to manage an entire department of a corporation. Think
That's
about it.
incredible.
You have gone through raising an entire human being with all of their needs, with their financial wants,
Mhm.
with the kinds of things that are needed, how to house them, how to feed them, how to caress them, how to keep them safe and happy. and then talk about education and moving them forward upon a path, along a
Mhm.
path. And that path is no different when it comes to ourselves
Mm.
and our own money. I'm going to call it money responsibility for retiring well, for
Mhm.
living well, and for really raising ourselves
Mhm.
well.
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah, absolutely. Oh my gosh, I love looking at it from that perspective. I never thought about it like that before.
It's true.
And
And this is something that I absolutely stand strongly for. Women, we now need to just stand up and say, you know, that's me.
mhm.
That is me. I have more inside me than I give myself credit for.
Mhm.
And so let's just begin right there, right here in today, just
Yeah.
saying, you know, let's start there and stand on each other's shoulders, lift each other's up,
Mhm.
and include this money thing, which
Yeah.
is really a lot of fun in as far as I'm concerned. I've been in the money business all my whole adult life.
Mhm. I love this. Absolutely. Yes. You're reframing this in such a great way because it really allows us to become empowered with money and in building wealth. And I do think that many of us, I was a stay-at-home mom for 17 years and never felt good with money, right? I'm not sure, what am I
Oh.
supposed to do? How am I supposed to do it? And it's I think the thing that we get to decide, right? And that's part of our mindset is I actually can learn this. It's okay.
And how did you do? I mean,
Mhm,
looking back now, Chris, yeah, I think you're a
mhm,
great example.
mhm.
Looking back now, are you realizing now you actually not only did it, but you probably did a great job?
Aw. I think I absolutely did do it. I think I did a great job, and I know that I've got more to learn in regards to building wealth long term,
Mhm.
right? Like, I know how to build a business and make money, and I'm super excited to also learn even more about how we're actually building that wealth component of it too.
And I do think that we are on a learning curve, and
Yeah.
everything that we've ever gone through in life is part of that learning curve.
Mhm.
Even if the mistakes help us to get a little bit more clear in
Yeah.
our thinking.
Mhm.
And of course, nothing goes 100% well, even with children,
Yeah. Yeah. Oh my
right?
gosh. Totally. Yes. Yes, yes. Absolutely.
So sometimes mistakes hold us back.
Mhm.
And as women, we think we always need to be perfect.
Mhm.
I'm sure even looking back on raising children, you think, well, I could have done this, I could have done that, I could have done the other.
Right.
But all in all, your children are a blessing to you now,
Mm.
and just look how it all worked out in the end.
Mhm.
That is my theme.
Mhm.
It does all work out in the end if we just simply pay attention and not like cut off our arm and
Mhm.
call that the money world. You know, it's like, oh,
Mhm.
that doesn't belong to me. Cut
Mhm.
that
Mhm.
off, you
Mhm.
know, because
Mhm.
we want to be whole women.
Yeah. Yes. Absolutely. Absolutely. This is so good, Lynn. Yes. So what are some principles that you would like to kind of share today about where do we start? Where do we
Well,
start?
um, let me just explain just for a second
Sure.
a bit about, you know, in case anyone is wondering, who is this person?
Yeah,
um,
yeah,
I
absolutely. Yes. Give us your story. Tell us your background. I'm like so like ready to dive in, but yeah.
well, I do have a pretty solid, you know, professional background. I had my first career was as an investment advisor. Sorry,
Mhm.
a I was one of the first women on the West Coast to open my own brokerage firm. That is an accomplishment that most women today is to look at me and go, "How did you possibly do that in a man's world?"
Mhm.
And so, you know, this was back in the 1970s. I
Wow.
started as a young stockbroker right out of college. I knew nothing about the stock market. I knew nothing about the bond market. I
Mhm.
knew nothing about finance. I truly had gone through college, but that was not my business,
Mhm.
my subject matter. But guess what? After college, and before college and during college, I was broke.
Mm-hmm.
I was so broke. I
Mm-hmm.
didn't have two quarters to rub together. And I had to ask myself some pretty hard questions. I couldn't get a job even after college. And I said to myself, what is it that I need the most?
Mm-hmm.
And the answer was money.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Some money. And so I made a decision then that if that's the number one thing I needed,
Mm-hmm.
and if I ever got some money,
Mm-hmm.
what would I do with it?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
a good question that we can each
Yeah.
ask ourselves now.
Yeah.
What would we do with
Mm-hmm.
money if we inherited it right now?
Mm-hmm.
If you got a pile of money, or if you hit the jackpot, or if your business really started
Mm-hmm.
making a lot of money that I know that you want it to
Mm-hmm.
make,
Mm-hmm.
what would you do with the money?
Mm-hmm.
How would you really manage that going forward? That was a question I asked. And I
Yeah.
realized in that moment, I didn't know.
Yeah.
I had gone all the way through college. I mean, where do we learn about these
Mm-hmm.
things? Where do we learn about the actual dynamics of what it takes
Yeah.
uh, to take your paycheck or your commission check,
Mm-hmm.
or what it is that you pay yourself as an
Mm-hmm.
entrepreneur? What does it take to take that and move it into a well-planned vehicle for
Mm-hmm.
building wealth? Uh,
Yes.
and was the question I asked myself. How do you do it? What does it take? So I
Mm-hmm.
started right there, and I started asking for a
Mm-hmm.
job in the money business, in the stock
Mm-hmm.
market business. And at the time, they were not hiring women. You
Mm.
could not be a stockbroker and be a woman.
That's
You
incredible.
No, they
That's
couldn't. This was 1975. You could not. They were not hiring women. And they said, well, you can be a secretary to a stockbroker for about 10 years, but we will not allow you to be a stockbroker and actually deal with the public one-on-one. Oh, no, we can't do that. But I
wow.
had some sales experience, and I had been, I think, persuasive enough to say, I'm a new generation here.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
we were these gals right out of college. We're going to make this work. We're going to bust the glass ceiling. And I
Yeah.
had a lot of motivation in that respect.
I'm
So
so glad you didn't take no. I'm so glad you were
I didn't
like,
say no.
oh,
I
heck
was
no.
knocking on doors all the way down Wilshire
Mm-hmm.
Boulevard, at least 25 interviews and so forth. And they all said no, except one
Mm-hmm.
man, the manager of a very well-known stock brokerage company, said, you know what, I have 3 daughters, and someday I want them to have a job, and I'm going to give you a chance because someday I hope somebody gives them a chance.
Wow.
And that was my first experience of somebody paying it forward.
Wow.
He
Wow.
opened a door for me. And he did put me on probation, which meant that I had a higher commission ceiling to
Right.
reach relative to the other guys. The other guys didn't have that as a young stockbroker just out of college.
Mm-hmm.
But at least I got in.
Mm-hmm.
And once
Mm-hmm.
I got in, then I just learned everything I could. I was this little sponge. And this was with a major company, stock brokerage company. It was called Dean Witter Rental
Mm.
at the time, which later became Morgan Stanley Dean Witter. So it's still one of the biggies, but they all
Yes.
consolidated. And within 4 years, I opened my own brokerage firm.
Lynn, that's amazing.
It was amazing. And looking
Holy
back,
cow.
I think that, people said you must be crazy. And I think what I did have was some very good mentors.
Mm-hmm.
And that is what we need along the way, ladies. We
Yes.
need some good mentors. I know you have Chris. We need mentors like Chris to help us over some of the bumps. But then we also need some money mentors that can
Yep.
help, with okay, what are we doing here? How are
Mm-hmm.
we building the framework brick by brick by brick by brick? Do we have a vision of what the bricks are going to look like at the end of the day? We
Mm-hmm.
start with the foundation, you see, and we
Yep.
make a brick really solid foundation for ourselves financially. And then we can put the frame on top, and we can build as high as we want to go, or just have a really solid foundation and
Mhm.
a portfolio of investments that will take care of us throughout a lifetime. And this is knowledge that is learnable. It's not rocket science.
Mhm.
And the only thing that it really requires is your willingness to learn.
Mm. I wish I had been taught that when I was a younger woman, because
Yeah.
I definitely would have been in a different position when I was going through my divorce. You know, when I went through my divorce after being a stay-at-home mom for 17 years, I had no money.
Yeah.
And if I had
Prob-
learned, oh,
Probably
actually, I
had
could actually,
some panic attacks going
yeah,
on.
no doubt, right? Like I was like, all right. And so this is, oh my gosh, this is so important for, and I'm so glad that you kind of found, not only did you not give up, but you are still here today to teach more women so that they can build wealth and be well taken care of. So important. So we have more choice.
It is. And
Mhm.
now let me go back to that story just for a minute.
Yeah.
I opened my own broker dealership at a time when women were not allowed to be in the business
Mhm.
really, or very much discouraged. So I opened the door so that other women could become stockbrokers, and we grew that business. I eventually sold it,
Mhm.
cashed out of, and then went and became a partner in a second business with two other gentlemen as my partners.
Wow.
And we grew that business, an investment advisory business.
Mhm.
We grew that business and then eventually sold it. So it was a total of 35 years that I was in the investment advisory world as an owner, operator, manager of portfolios. And in addition, Chris, in the evening, I taught investment classes to
Mhm.
adults at the Pacific School of Finance for 15 years. And
Wow.
what I'm doing now, because I think it's so important because I'm
Mhm.
semi-retired, but I thought, I need to give back now. What
Mhm.
I am doing now is giving back my knowledge to women
Mhm.
so that we can together lock elbows
Yeah.
and go a little bit further down the road.
Yeah.
We already have done an awful lot of achievement, you know.
Mhm.
Uh,
Mhm.
Look at the number of women who are in the entrepreneurial space right here.
Yeah.
How
Yeah.
many of you have
Yeah.
your own companies?
Yeah.
Put your hand up.
Yeah.
How many of you are already in this new vanguard, which
Mhm.
didn't happen for women in my
Yeah.
age group 20 years ago.
Yeah.
So we are already in an advanced group.
Yep. Yep.
So
Yep.
it's time to actually take the tools of good money management practices
Mhm.
and accelerate our progress.
Mhm.
That's why what I'm doing is really teaching. I have the Wealth
Mhm.
Builders Express, which is behind me. I like to call it a train. It's a
Yeah.
fast train. It's the express train toward your own knowledge. Why? Because I do believe that inside every woman is an ace money manager just
Mhm.
waiting to be empowered with
Mhm.
a few decisions that
Mhm.
you can make right. And it doesn't take a lot of brain power.
Mhm.
It just takes a little bit of common sense and allocating some priorities in
Yeah.
your favor, putting
Yes.
yourself first.
Yeah, and direction, right? Like, and that's why I'm so grateful for you. You can say, okay, this is where we start, and this is
Yeah,
the other thing we would like. So when we have direction and we've got a mentor with like an expert with you that has so many years of experience, it becomes we do it quicker, right? That's why
right.
I love, the express piece that we actually don't have to read all the books. We don't have to,
That's right.
try to figure it out on our own. We can actually get the manual, get the instructions, get the system, get the steps, and then also have you to ask questions so that we know what to do.
Exactly. And with a mentor, you can move a lot faster. As
Yeah.
you know
Oh,
with
yeah.
Chris, I mean,
Mhm.
you can build your business faster
Mhm.
and then build your wealth faster.
Yep.
That's a two-pronged approach.
Yes.
Maximize your income and
Mhm.
then maximize the return.
You know what? Thank you for saying that because I think this is a really important distinction. Building a business and making money in your business is different than building wealth. Like those are like when Lynn said two-pronged things, like that's so, so important. And we need both. We need to know how to make money in our business. And we also need to know what to do with that money. Like you said, what are you going to do with it so that it continues to work for you and you're actually building wealth over time.
Right. So
Hmm.
would you like to just kind of deep
Hmm.
dive into those two things for a minute?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's talk about the first one.
Hmm.
Building your own company. Just
Hmm.
think about that. That
Hmm.
is like, that is what we're doing here. We're
Hmm.
building our own companies. We're entrepreneurs.
Hmm.
You can say, I am, and you fill in the blank, an
Hmm.
entrepreneur.
Hmm.
I have a business that I'm building. Okay, at the end of the year, let me ask you a question. How are you paying yourself?
Hmm.
Are you paying yourself well?
Hmm.
Are you paying, you're the CEO.
Hmm.
Do you give yourself the um the honored space and place of paying yourself well first?
Hmm.
In other words, pay yourself first. Yes,
Hmm.
you have bills, you have employees, you have
Hmm.
um staff,
Hmm.
and you want to scale. And I
Hmm.
understand there's a time in which you're reinvesting money into your business to scale, to grow.
Hmm.
I understand
Hmm.
that.
Yep.
And you still have you.
Yeah.
If you don't put the, like they say on the airplane, put the mask on yourself first,
Yeah.
you're not going to have the energy to withstand for another year and another year and another
Hmm.
year. So we want to pay ourselves first. That is what it's all about. So you want to pay yourself enough so that you can pay your own bills and put some away
Mm.
for your own good. What does that
Hmm.
mean? Well, you need to put the maximum that you possibly can into
Hmm.
your own IRA account,
Hmm.
which is individual retirement account. Quite simple. Many
Yeah.
of us who are entrepreneurs, we don't have a paycheck. You don't have a boss. Uh, you don't have a 401k account or something.
Hmm.
We get to rely on ourselves. So we have to open our own retirement account and then fund it every year. And there is a maximum amount that you can fund it up to every year. And why not take advantage of that
Hmm.
to attempt to try to maximize that so that you're paying yourself first, and that maximum amount that you're depositing in your own name for your own future gets to grow without taxes. So in other words, it will grow faster relative to any other kind of account that you, I mean, of course you can put it into a savings account,
Hmm.
but put into the retirement account first as a forced savings account.
Hmm. Yep. I
That's
already.
what a retirement account is. It's really a forced savings account, but it grows faster because you
Hmm.
don't have the taxation annually upon that.
I love
So
that.
the first thing is to have the mindset that I'm worth it. I get to pay myself first. I'm the CEO.
Hmm.
I need a salary, but I need one that I can not only pay my bills, but also put a little aside from my future.
Yeah. I love that.
And every
Absolutely.
year, if you do that, it
Hmm.
begins to build, build,
Hmm.
build, build.
Hmm.
So the second part two, is what do we do with that? How do
Hmm.
we make that work for us?
Hmm.
And we can start simple by being conservative
Hmm.
and buying the highest quality right now,
Hmm.
triple A safe security that we can buy, which is United States Treasury bills.
Wow.
Easy, easy peasy, triple A in quality, no risk, or at least the lowest risk that one can take. It's similar to a CD at the bank.
Mm.
But right now, we're able to receive like 5% on our money. Only 2 years ago, for the same investment, we would only have received 1.5%.
Right.
So this is a wonderful time to begin to invest in yourself.
Hmm.
And you can receive 5% for just a very easy investment in a safe,
Mhm.
um, I said AAA
Yeah.
investment in the United States Treasury bonds. We
Mhm.
can receive 5% for a 1-year or 2-year bond.
Mhm.
Yes, it will come due. Then you can have an opportunity to reinvest it again.
Mhm.
But that is the place to begin with absolutely no risk.
Mhm.
You get started that way.
Yep.
And then if you want to take a little bit more risk, it's easy to do that.
Mhm.
You have so many different choices of some market funds, whether it's the
Mhm.
stock market, the bond market. All of these things are easy, very, very easy to simply make an investment electronically.
Mhm.
But the important thing is to be able to do this with almost without thinking so that it becomes automatic. As on entrepreneurs, we
Mhm.
become investors. We
Yeah.
become, in other words, when you say I am an entrepreneur, you can just expand that and say I am an entrepreneur and an investor.
Mm. Yes.
That's who I am. I'm two.
Yes.
It's 2 steps. And I'm an entrepreneur. I earn, and I'm an investor. I invest, and
Mhm.
I invest well for myself. And the earlier that we do that, and more consistently, then it grows over time for us so that we are ready
Mhm.
for the things in the future that we need to be ready for. Does that
Yeah.
make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. So there's some people here that are still just like brand new and building their business. They might
Mhm.
not actually be bringing a whole bunch of income in. They probably don't have a team yet. Totally fine.
Okay.
What would you suggest for them is, even if it's just like, is there a certain percentage of what they bring in that is something to shoot for?
I want to challenge you to think differently a little bit than that question.
Okay.
Um, I would love to challenge you to say to yourself, can I put aside even $500 a month?
Yeah.
Just challenge yourself.
Yeah.
And if it's only 200 a month,
Mhm.
fine.
Mhm.
Why is that? It's because if that's like all you can do right now, do you know that's a lot?
Mhm.
Because you could open an investment account with just $200,
Wow.
even 100, I can say.
Wow.
I'm going to give you this never used to exist when I was
Mhm.
earlier in the business, but now our world is changing so fast. We have so many online opportunities,
Mhm.
and the amount of money required is now so low
Mhm.
that you can actually take only $100 and open a brokerage account. And you can do that with the name of it is robinhood.com.
Oh, I've
Have
heard
you heard of it?
Robinhood. Yes.
Robinhood.com. And you can open a brokerage account and you can buy one share of
Mhm.
stock. Let's say you wanted to buy one share of Walmart,
Mhm.
which is trading at $70 a share. So you'd only really need $70 to do
Mhm.
this experiment for yourself. Or if you could put in $120, you
Mhm.
could buy one share of NVIDIA, this
Mm.
company that's going crazy that everybody is talking about, which is the new leader in AI.
Wow.
You could do that for yourself so that you can start learning.
Mhm.
And you can do that for yourself so that each month you can put an extra $100 in. At the end of the year, you'd have $1,200, wouldn't you?
Mhm.
That's actually growing for
Mm.
you and being invested for you. So you don't have to really think about it in terms of what is the percentage at the end of
Gotcha.
the year that I have to pay myself.
Yeah.
My idea is just get started, get
Yeah.
feet wet, try
Yeah.
it out. If you've never, ever, ever had an opportunity to invest before, instead of taking that $100 and going to buy another new pair of shoes, which we love shoes. I know, I love shoes, but they cost more than $100 these days.
Yep.
But if you had $100 or 200, instead of buying that pair of shoes, equate it differently. I'm going to buy myself something that will grow in time. A pair of shoes grows on your feet because you love it. But what if you could have that same $100 or $200 grow to $300, $400, $500 because you took the time to invest in yourself? And if you do this experiment, just do me one favor, buy quality.
How do we know?
Well, there are ways to know what is quality, but one good way to know, if you know nothing else, just look at this, the Dow Jones companies. Then there are 30 companies in the Dow Jones Industrial Average. I think Walmart is one of them. And Microsoft is another one of them. I mean, those are considered blue chip, meaning they are the highest quality industrial companies that we have in America today. And so one of those are really a very good place to start. I'm just going to make it simple that way.
Yeah.
Because at least if you're choosing a company that's been around a long time, they've proven themselves, they have the longevity and the earnings power to be on the Dow Jones. They're selected. They have to be selected to be on that index. Then you know that you are at least investing in quality, as opposed to going to a cocktail party and somebody gives you an idea, you've never heard of it before, and it's a penny stock, and it goes to 2 pennies, then you've made 100% on your money, and they convince you all of these strange ideas. But those are highly risky, non-quality, and easy to lose. That's why women, I believe, over time get so fearful. Because we feel like, oh, it's so easy to lose.
Yes. I would say that would be, it's like, I want to know because I don't want to lose what I've just worked so hard for.
Correct. Now, the answer to your question, when you say, well, how do we know what is quality? That's what I teach.
Yeah, great.
There's things to look for. For example, if you went out to buy a watch, would you buy a Rolex based upon a certain number of criteria that you know about Rolexes? Yes. Because, in other words, so if you bought a quality pair of shoes, I mean, I believe women know quality.
Yes, we do.
We know quality. We know when to buy high quality. We buy out of season. Right?
Yep.
So that we know when to buy bargains, and we want to buy the best quality that we can in those bargain season. Innately, we know this stuff. So I say, why not just apply it over here to finance? And there are certain things that I can teach you that are the quality things that are needed. In the meantime, if you just want to do this on your own, do it yourself kind of a thing, then go with the companies that you know that you have been buying from. Maybe Walmart, maybe Apple. See, Apple Computer, you might have one of their watches or one of their cell phones. So, something that you're familiar with. Verizon, you might be a Verizon customer. These kinds of things, Nike shoes, might have the running shoes. So just choose something that you're already familiar with their products, and you enjoy their products, or you shop at CVS or Walgreens or Walmart or whatever, and you just purchase something of those are American companies that have been around a long time.
Yeah, that's amazing. Lynn, I have another question for you because I know in the beginning we talked about like an IRA, right? An individual retirement account.
Yes.
And I think, and for me, I have an IRA. I have a Roth IRA, and
Mhm.
then I also have a SEP account.
Okay.
And can you speak about like what's the benefit of an IRA versus buying a stock or putting your money in a market fund?
Okay. Um, the IRA is the name of an account that
Mm-hmm.
you establish. And
Mm-hmm.
there, as you mentioned, there are several different kinds of
Mm-hmm.
IRAs. So I'm going to say there are three different kinds of IRAs, which is the name of the umbrella account.
Okay.
That umbrella account is like a retirement account that
Mm-hmm.
when you put your money in there, it grows tax-free. It's not
Gotcha.
taxable.
Got it. Got it.
One of them can be an IRA, which is the regular individual retirement account.
Mm-hmm.
And then there are two other specialty kinds, which you had mentioned. One is Roth, a Roth IRA,
Mm-hmm.
and then a second one is a SEP IRA.
Mm-hmm.
Those two are a little bit different. They
Mm-hmm.
each have a reason,
Mm-hmm.
and like a rhyme and a reason, or um, and they they have you have the ability to use all three or
Mm-hmm.
just one, depending on your tax status and how much your income is.
Gotcha.
But those are umbrella accounts.
Okay.
Okay, now, once you choose one of those that is your best account, and everybody's different, so I can't give you
Mm-hmm.
an
Yeah.
absolute answer in that case.
Yeah.
But let's say that you choose the one that's right for you,
Mm-hmm.
and you open an IRA account.
Mm-hmm.
Then you start funding that account. In other words, you start depositing money in there.
Mm-hmm.
Then you get to choose what you want to invest in.
Gotcha.
So,
So like a mutual fund or a
yes, it
market.
can be a
Okay.
mutual fund. It can be, like I mentioned, a treasury bill, which if
Oh, I
you
didn't
don't,
realize that you could do that
absolutely.
and decide to do the treasury
Yes,
bill.
you can do it inside the
Okay.
because it's an umbrella that
Right.
you can buy anything. You can buy all three. You can buy stocks, bonds, treasury bills, gold, silver. I mean, you can buy things, all kinds of things inside that umbrella.
I had no idea. Oh my
Yes.
God, I am so excited.
Yes. So there's lots of choices of, you
Mm,
can have baskets of different kinds of investments
mm,
inside there. You
gotcha.
can diversify inside that investment,
Mm-hmm.
or you can be extremely safe and secure and only do the AAA um,
Bonds,
treasury treasury
bills.
bonds at 5%, but it's similar to having a savings account at your bank with a CD.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that for a minute. You can
Yeah.
have these IRA accounts that grow
Mm-hmm.
tax-free, but like I mentioned, they're forced savings account for the
Mm-hmm.
long run.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Or you can just put it in your bank,
Mm-hmm.
your savings into
Mm-hmm.
your bank, and build up an emergency fund, or
Mm-hmm.
in other words, you can continue to do that while you're investing for the future.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't have an emergency fund built up, then it's best to do that outside of the IRA. So that
Gotcha.
would be in your bank account or
Right.
savings account. And
Mm-hmm.
in that case, you can buy very, very safe instruments
Mm-hmm.
like the AAA 5% CD or
Mm-hmm.
treasury bills. And
Mm-hmm.
even then, you can start to invest in the mutual funds as well. So you can
Mm,
do both, and if you
gotcha.
wish. So you can begin small and
Mm-hmm.
begin to build up.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, you can open a play account with yourself to
Mm,
just take, $100 or 200, as I mentioned, and
mm-hmm.
begin investing
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
to reward yourself.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then you will start to feel like, you know, I am an ace money manager. I'm
Yeah.
beginning to take care of myself. I'm
Yeah.
beginning to feel like the more money I earn, the
Mm-hmm.
more I get excited about my business. I want my
Mhm.
business to grow. Why? Because I'm starting to feel
Mhm.
what it's all about.
Mm.
Once you get that money in and it starts to grow for you, you
Mhm.
start feeling like, oh my gosh, I can have my money work for me
Yes.
while I'm sleeping.
Yeah.
You make good decisions for yourself, and it doesn't take that much brain power. It just
Mhm.
takes a little common sense.
This is so good, Lynn. So, if somebody wants to get started and has questions, how can they find you? How can they find you?
Well, I would love to invite you just simply to my website,
Okay.
which is
And
Lynn, Lynn, middle initial E, kitchen, Kitchen, dot
.com.
com, dot com. And this coming in 2 weeks, I'm going to have an open house that you're all invited to. So if you'll just go to my website, you're
Mhm.
going to start seeing some invitations there to my new open house, which is in 2 weeks, July 31st, on my birthday.
Yay! Oh
I'm
my
going to have,
God!
yeah, I'm going to make a free master class on my birthday, plus a birthday party.
Yay! Oh my God, I am so there. I am
Yeah.
all in because my brain has so many questions for you right now, Lynn. I'm like, oh no, I need to like get in Lynn. I need to like learn
Yeah.
from.
So I'm going to be
Mhm.
answering a lot of questions. That is on a Wednesday, July 31st. But if you just go to my website, there's a place that you can sign up, just opt in to get on my newsletter
Mhm.
so that you receive all of my announcements. And I'm going to be sending a lot of announcements to
Mhm.
for this. And I would love to have
Mhm.
your people, Chris, to come
Thank
on
you.
and begin to learn
Yeah.
just the basics. And if
Yeah.
I believe that if we begin now
Mhm.
to learn some of the basics, just think how
Mhm.
far you're going to be at the end of this year, just in 6 months, or even a year from now, how much you're going to feel different about yourself
Yeah.
when you can actually take charge of your own destiny.
Yeah, absolutely. And for those of you that are worried that it's too late, it's never too late. Like
No,
if you're
it's
in your
not.
40s, 50s, like it's still not too late. Like you
No,
get to continue to do this still, and it will absolutely still be beneficial for you.
that's right. The
Mhm.
and the earlier that you do start, the better.
Mhm.
And wherever you are in the cycle, the life cycle of your
Mhm.
life,
Mhm.
start now.
Yep.
Start now. I have 80-year-olds who are just loving a brand new understanding that they are taking control of their money.
Yeah.
And all their life they had somebody else, their husband or whatever, deal with
Mhm.
everything for them. And
Mhm.
suddenly, I don't know, the person died or whatever,
Yeah. Yeah.
and
Yeah.
now it's up to them, and they are loving it starting
Mhm.
at an advanced age. So it's not about age or
Mhm.
stage. It's
Mhm.
about your willingness to say, oh, wait a minute, I come first.
Yeah. 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 Yep. I love this so much, Lynn. I love this so much.
We women do put everyone else first, don't we?
Mhm. Oh yeah,
It's
totally.
just part of our nature. Uh,
Yep.
so I think it's actually difficult to put
Mhm.
ourselves first.
Mhm.
And yet, it's my passion to
Mhm.
invite you
Mhm.
to take baby steps.
Mhm.
Take baby steps to put yourself first. Growing your own business is part of that with Chris's help.
Mhm.
Uh, and then putting yourself first as it relates to paying yourself first and
Mhm.
paying yourself well.
Yeah.
And then taking up little opportunities to learn here and there and
Mhm.
invest in yourself the quality that you would want others to invest in you as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So those of you that are here, even if you're watching the replay, pop your questions in the chat so that
Yeah.
Lynn can circle back around. She can connect with you. She can answer your questions as well. For those of you that are watching this on YouTube, you can definitely reach out to Lynn. Go to her website, Lynn, Lynne, Kitchen, KITCHEN.com. And you can reach out to Lynn and you can learn more about her Wealth Builders Express as well as her open house that's coming up for sure. Lynn, this is so good. I feel like we've just scratch the tip of the iceberg, but all of this is so, so important. And I love that you kind of broke it down into really simple steps. Number one, put yourself first, make sure that you're paying yourself enough to cover your bills and to put some stuff away so that you're investing in yourself.
Right.
Right. And then second is, or these are my notes, invest in high quality, right?
Right.
AAA, high quality, whether you want to invest in a retirement account, that you can do treasury bonds or market funds or CDs, whatever that is. Make sure that you're putting something away. And you recommend every single month. Is that correct?
I do.
Okay. Yep.
That's gets you into the habit of allocating, when we do our automated bill paying, you
Mm-hmm.
can, you can actually put in one more little, not so much a bill, but you can allocate some money every month to your savings account or to your IRA account. And it'd be as easy as automated bill pay.
I love that. So good. Yeah, there's no reason not to start doing this today. Like we totally get to do this. Amazing. Lynn, I've got one other question before we pop off today.
Sure.
How do you actually work with women? How do you work with them? Like if I said, Lynn, I need help, where do I start?
We get on the phone and I determine are you a beginner
Mm-hmm.
as an investor, or do you have quite a bit of investment experience already, or are
Mm-hmm.
you a sophisticated investor? So there's really three kinds
Got it.
of beginning points. And I
Mm-hmm.
work with everyone in each one of those cases,
Great.
beginners, intermediate, and advanced.
Mm-hmm.
For the beginners, I do have a class.
Mm-hmm.
It's a financial clinic that I help you actually begin the process of learning. There's a whole language
Yeah.
behind money. And
Mm-hmm.
unfortunately, most women just don't have the language skills that we just
Yeah.
haven't been taught. And it's
Yeah.
not your fault.
Yep.
It's just that we haven't been taught or exposed to it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not like we have to speak Chinese all the time either.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
It's just a matter of just a few things to learn.
Yeah.
Then that helps you accelerate along the way. I also have a monthly um, program that I can invite you into at a certain level.
Mm-hmm.
And then I also work with women one-on-one
Mm-hmm.
to help. Some women have investment advisors already who are
Mm-hmm.
managing their affairs. And what I do in that case is I act like like a second opinion doctor, looking
Oh,
over your shoulder at your
gotcha.
investments that the investment manager is managing for you. And we make double sure that they're doing the right thing that you had hired them to do. A
Mm-hmm.
lot of women don't even understand what their own investment managers are doing on their own
Yeah.
behalf. They just
Yeah.
don't know
Yeah.
what the quality is. They don't know what they don't
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
I really am I'm here to help women get more exposure to what it is that is being done for them,
Mm-hmm.
to learn how to take some of the decisions themselves,
Mm-hmm.
and then to learn how do we build wealth over time,
Yeah.
and how can that be fun?
Yeah. Yes. Yes. Because it gets to be fun. Great. And so people can go to your website and book that call there too.
Absolutely.
Okay, great.
That call
Awesome.
there
So
too.
great. You guys can get
And
on Lynn's.
especially if you're working with Chris, I absolutely will be delighted to work with you. So why is that important is because you have a team then of mentors around you
Yeah.
that really are involved with wanting you to be raised up.
Mm-hmm.
We have, Chris has decades of experience, and her heart is there for you. So
Mm-hmm.
these opportunities to be mentored
Yeah.
are, I think precious.
Yeah, I agree. And what I love about having wraparound support is it's like you do have kind of like people in your corner that are experts at what it is that they do, right? Like, having somebody that can help you with your business is one piece. Mindset is, a component. financial investment and building wealth. Like when you have people that can mentor you and guide you in their specific zone of genius, because none of us know everything
Right.
perfectly, right? Like I'm not a wealth financial expert. I would absolutely send you to Lynn. And I can certainly help you, build and grow an amazing holistic business, get you to six figures, multiple six figures in that way. But it's so good to have multiple people around you to guide whatever your goals are for sure.
And answer questions. I think that
Yeah,
the one thing that you probably do best is invite women to ask you questions, right? Because
absolutely.
there is
Absolutely.
no such thing as a dumb question or
Mm-hmm.
an embarrassing question. It's just something that I think women want to know more
Mm-hmm.
now, especially. And it's an opportunity, it's time to just start asking questions. And that's why I think that I wanted to start a financial clinic, have a safe place for women
Yeah.
to come ask questions and to
Yeah.
grow.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Lynn, this has been so good. What a gift. I'm so grateful for you. I'm grateful for your wisdom and your knowledge. So, so good. All
Thank you,
right,
Chris.
everybody. Comment below if you are interested in building wealth. I would love for you to just pop in the chat wealth or pop in the comments wealth. And if you do have any questions, again, you can just pop them below, either in the comments, and we will circle back around and make sure that we answer all those questions. And Lynn, thank you so much for being here. This has just been such a great, great conversation.
Thank you too. I appreciate
Yeah.
you. Thank you for the work that you're doing in the world, Chris.
Oh, thank you. All right, everybody, we will see you next time. Have a great day. It's stopping. Oh, there it is.